Welcome to the Mind is Psychic, where we talk music, addiction, comedy, culture. If you like this content, please leave feedback and subscribe. Let's get into it.
On this episode, I want to talk about materialistic mindset, what it does to our behaviors, how we act, how we focus, how we treat others. Don't get me wrong. One of my favorite things to do is buy things. Amazon has become an addiction in itself. Something in our brains, by purchasing something, makes you feel better when you buy something, makes you feel accomplished, makes you feel, basically fills that gap of whatever you've got going on in your life for that brief moment. Amazon, as great as it is, more and more day by day, I think mentally it's become such a workhorse in our brains of how we think, of how we purchase, of how we buy different things that we need and that we don't need. We now have, and we have had for many years, the thought process of the battling between, do I need this or do I want this? And the farther we go along and the ease of getting things and purchasing things, the wants intertwine into the needs. Do I need a $600 microphone for a podcast? No, you don't. Because in reality, you don't even need a podcast. You need to have money, but most importantly, you need to have air, food, water, and shelter. But definitely those three things of air, food, and water to live. Everything else is an extra. But in this day and age, we don't feel like that. We feel buying things makes us feel better, and buying things is a must in our brain now. We now feel that we have to keep up with the next door neighbor, or as how they used to say it, keep up with the Joneses. If they have a $2 million house, we must have a $2 million house. We must have a $2.5 million house because we need to outdo them. Or they get a luxury car, we better get a luxury car with the additional trim. For decades, that's been embedded in Americans and humans in general. Of we no longer, we think about food, water, and health as like a guaranteed thing we're going to get every day. And we feel about the materialistic things slowly but surely that those wants turn into needs, but they aren't. Vehicles and for transportation makes life a whole lot easier. For a lot of us, that is some sort of need. It's more of a need than a television in this day and age, because a lot of us live in places that we need to have transportation at our fingertips so we can get to places on time. Not saying it's a 100% need like food and water. It's a need that makes our life easier to live in order to get the water, to get the food, to get the shelter, to get to work on time, and not having to leave 3 hours beforehand to catch a bus or to pay $30 a trip for Uber. So that's as much of it's not a need, it is. Buying materialistic things our wants. Not a need, but we've grown up in this and we've slowly but surely lived in this environment and have just aged into this world where we must have everything and we must have what our neighbors have plus. And to the point that we think we deserve it, and we deserve it without working. And that's what has happened to our brain function and our outlook these days and how we process things. 100 years ago, we were just trying to live and get by and eat and drink and have a roof over our head. Now, with technology and with all the cool gadgets out now, I mean, when I remember getting a cell phone was like the almighty, like you being able to do that, to get that. Now, no big deal. Everybody has them. 8-year-olds have cell phones now. Tablets was like a big thing in 2010. Like if you had one of those and a laptop, you were living big. And you had a cell phone, you had an iPhone, an iPad, and an iMac. You were living on hog's land. That's what I'm saying. You had it going. You had all that and a bag of potato chips. I digress. 15 years later, we, as in the general public, feel in one way or the other that we deserve all this stuff and that we don't have to work for it. And yes, a lot of people feel that. A lot of people feel that they should have this materialistic, these items just given to them. Whether that's true or not, that's people's thoughts. That's their opinions. Fact is these material items, as cool as they are, they help us. They increase our way of living. They assist us in many ways. They also make it dumb. They also make us dumber, meaning we can get answers on the fly instead of back in the day looking things up in actual books, having to go to, like, let's say a library and look things up. We are way less patient now because we have the ability to have everything at our beck and call. Everything from food to items like TVs to computers to cars. You can get all that delivered now. There's these services. I mean, you have Carvana. You can order online and it could be delivered. Or you go to a car kiosk where you used to be able to like go to a kiosk and get like a soda or something. They now have those for cars. Now, I'm probably like 5 years behind on all this stuff, why I'm talking about it. But yes, it's easier to get all this stuff. But also part of this is getting materialistic things, going to Toys R Us, let's say, was, if you do, let's say, for instance, whether this is a good parenting skill or not, whatever, if you get an A at the end of, when we get the report card, we can go, you can go get something at Toys R Us. Half the fun was knowing that we were going to be able to go into the toy store and pick something out. No matter the cost, whether we had a $5 limit or $150 limit, most of the fun, honestly, was going along for the ride. We don't go along for rides anymore. We just order stuff and we don't think about it. It's just become a secondary thing. Oh, okay, I need this, I need that, and all of a sudden, that want has become a need in our brains. We need to divert back a little bit and find that and earn that want. Because you get something, you get one of those feelings of being proud, of being able to do something by waiting, by being able to control that hunger and patience in order to get said something. When you're able to work towards something and you get it, it makes you feel that much better. Now, we all know, the most of us, and I say we as in society, it's way easier to get instant fulfillment and instant gratification. But because we don't have that wait anymore, we don't have that longing for something, because we now can just purchase it wherever, whenever. And then that over the years has infected our mind to the degree where we don't even think about it anymore. Meaning we don't think about it as a perk. We think of it as it's going to be around forever and it's just part of life. I mean, if our grandparents or what have you, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, great, whatever, what have you, looked at society now, I think they'd be kind of dumbfounded. Even our grandparents that grew up during the Depression and have lived through years and years of seeing the way how life was and how it is now, I think they would definitely want to have a stern word with us about how we're living, how we're not caring as much. We're so intertwined and so in love with materialistic items more than the human race, more than our friends, our families, more than anything. Now, I can go on the soapbox, and I will forever, because why I'm talking about it is because it's affected my life so much. Yes, technology and materialism has affected my life in somewhat of a good way, but then I think about it as well. I see something, I'm like, oh, I want that, or I want that. And I have that at my fingertips. It kind of defeats the purpose of actually wanting things. It kind of defeats the purpose of enjoying the feeling of the waiting. Because there's something about the waiting aspect of something, especially as a kid, when you have to wait. Like I gave that example a little bit back about going to Toys R Us on that Saturday because, you got a good grade, or you got good grades on your report cards, or you did a chore or what have you. You were incentivized because you did something good. It's one of those things where you knew you had to wait to a certain day. And if you were bad by waiting, you wouldn't go at all. Like if it was the Wednesday and you just became a total butthead, odds are you weren't going to the toy store on Saturday, no matter how much you begged and pleaded. Whether that makes it better or worse, your actions were what your parents let you do or not do. Having the ability, even back then as a kid, like you sort of knew, you're like, okay, I need to keep cool until I get that toy. That doesn't mean once you get the toy, you can act like a total butthead to your parents or whoever brings you to the said store. you should still be a good person no matter what. But, you know, as us rambunctious little rugrats, we wanted what we wanted when we wanted it. We wanted it right then. But we also knew that we didn't have Amazon or companies just to bring us stuff instantly. There was that need of wanting to wait. As much as we didn't want to wait, we knew that at the end of the road, it made it feel that much better that we had to wait. We love our materialistic world. We cannot deny that. We love the ease of getting things. The majority of us love working for what we have and for what we want in the future, but not keeping in mind that maybe sometimes, you know, years ago, it was a little easier. I mean, we still had the store. We could still go to the store and shop. It wasn't like, you know, we didn't have anything. It didn't make us as lazy as we are now. Because as a society and as me as a person, lazy as heck, because we have all of these options. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you can look at it at all different points. I can make a case for each one of them. Another case, we can say that, let's say you're terribly sick and you don't want to go to the store. Well, one of the pluses is you can order on Instacart, on, you know, any of the store's apps to get it delivered to your door. Now, as good as that is while you're sick, it could also make you super lazy, which I've done many a time. But when you pay for a service, it's like, why not do it? So there's this battle, and I have this battle daily, I would say, of, do I want this? Do I need this? The category of wants, of needs, of do you want to go into debt for things? Like, yeah, that microphone's really cool, but it's $600. Or, ooh, the new Mac Mini just came out with the M4. Ooh, I really want that. Oh, I can get that with 0% interest for 6 months. And companies lead you on, these finance companies lead you on as well. So it's this huge rat race of materialism and how one thinks, how easy it is to get something. Yeah, it's easy, but do we think fully? Do we think everything through like we should? Not that we did that back in the day either. We would make harsh, quick decisions that were good and that were bad. But what I'm saying is, just keep in mind, think, do you really need this? Will this make your life that much better? And I know I'm saying this, and I'm bringing this point up, because I really feel that in this day and age, we've taken that want and we've turned it into a need. Not a good thing. Not a good look. I'm the biggest proponent of differentiating the two, but I, as a human being myself, fall into this little rat race of wanting materialistic things, wanting it now, not wanting to wait. Trust your gut is basically what I'm saying when it comes to that stuff. And if you're ever in doubt, think, would this said person do this? For me, it would be, would my grandma do this? Would this make good sense? 9 times out of 10, I'd say no, especially when it comes to materialistic things. But we're that monetarily wanting everything type of society at whatever cost. On that note, guys, I'm going to say my goodbyes. Talk to you later. I'm out.
Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and leave a comment. You can hear me on all major platforms and socials under the Mind of Psychic podcast. See you next time.